guys, today you're getting me. I don't have my hair fixed. I'm just tired. It's just a day where I'm just tired, so you're getting that. So I wanted to do this video. I've had it to do for a while and I actually forgot about it, and I was like, how can I forget this? So it may not be something that you're interested in, but I still wanted to do it anyway just because I have the palettes and I wanted to do it, and I felt like doing some eyeshadow because I've not done eyeshadow in a while. So here we are. But a while back I ordered like three palettes from Pat McGrath, and this is one of the palettes that I purchased. This is the Pat McGrath Mothership, what is it, 7 Divine Rose. And I was so excited because I got this. I forget exactly what I paid for it, but I know I got like a really good deal. Like a super good deal on this one. And I've not used this yet. I've saved it for this particular video, but it is beautiful. How gorgeous is that? I love this color story. Probably gonna be one of my favorites. If I had to pick a favorite right now that I have used, it would be the Mothership 1 Subliminal. I love this one. I'll just show it to you really quickly. We won't spend too much time on this one because it's not what it's about. But I love the color story here, and just the cool tones and everything about this is good. But before I bought these palettes from Pat McGrath, when they had such a good deal, I really forgot. I ended up paying for like 3 palettes what I would have paid for, just a tad bit more than what I would have paid for one, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I have a video on it. So anyway, before I did that, I purchased this palette, and it's from Alter Ego, and it's called the Luster palette. And I checked just before I did this video, just to make sure that it's still available, and it is still available. So the reason I got this, I saw Jen Phelps. She is the queen of dupes, and she was doing some swatching, and I saw this and I thought, oh, that looks really close in swatches and different things, and I love the color story yet again, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and purchase this one. This one is like I said, from Alter Ego. It's $22. The Pat McGrath palette is $128. So I got this one for $22. I thought, I'm never buying a Pat McGrath palette, so I'm gonna spend the $22 on this one and call it a day. So then I dipped my toe into Pat McGrath and fell down the rabbit hole, so to speak. And I just love Pat McGrath's shadows. They are so good. So we are going to compare these palettes. We are going to see what they are like side by side. I'm going to hold them up together. Now, Alter Ego is like a dupe brand. They dupe palettes. That's what they do. That's what they are striving to do. So in that, they were trying to dupe this specific palette. So basically what I'm trying to do is just tell you, is it worth your money? Is it is the $22 worth it? Does it compare, really? Is it the same? So I'm gonna swatch these side by side, and we will see if it is comparable. All right, so I'm gonna go in order from the Pat McGrath palette, and then I'll tell you this like matching correlation shade in the Luster palette. I think it's called Luster Charm actually, but it just says Luster on the front there. It has a very nice packaging. It's very like soft matte. It not only tells you the shades on the inside and you get a mirror, it has the shades on the back, which really doesn't matter if they're on the inside to me, but it is there. They are, well, that was scary. Okay, if my lighting changed, something happened with my light. It will not go back on the warm setting that I normally like. I don't know what happened. It just quit. I can only use this setting, so it is what it is. So let's get to swatching. All right, so the first one in the Pat McGrath palette, I'm gonna put like a picture of the Pat McGrath palette, and then I'll put a picture of the Luster palette instead of like trying to hold up two at once. But I'll show you the swatches, okay? So the first one in the Pat McGrath palette is Skin Show Nude. The correlating shade in the Luster palette is called Spectral. Okay, so there is a difference in undertone on that one. I don't know how much you guys will be able to tell, but this one is kind of like more golden. The Spectral shade, I'm just going to actually double dip, see if I can get a better, no. Pat McGrath is definitely like a very smooth swatch. But yeah, you can kind of see there, okay? So like this one is a very bright gold, and this one has almost like a peachy golden undertone to it. So very different there. Okay, so the next one in Pat McGrath is Valoria. The Luster palette is Mystic. So there you can tell again, Pat's is a bit deeper. Mystic is just a tad bit more light, more mauve-y, and Pat's has more of like a plum undertone. Okay, the next one in the palette is called Sable Bronze, and the correlating one in Luster is Infinite. These actually look a little bit more alike than I thought they were going to when I first looked at them. I thought, there's no way. But those actually are pretty similar. There might be a little bit more shine to Pat's, but pretty similar. I'm going to leave those 4 special shades for last, and we'll swatch those. Because that's what's special about Pat's formula, is her special shades. So there's Blitz Astral shades, I think is how she calls them. So the next one I'm going to be swatching is Extreme Mahogany from Pat. And the one from the Luster palette is called Rare. Okay, so Pat's is like super creamy. Her matte formula is so good. But you can tell that the Alter Ego is just a bit more chalky. And yeah, I mean, like, there's no comparison in these two as far as I'm concerned. This one's a bit deeper. Chocolate browns are, people can call them like very mundane, and like you can get them in a lot of palettes or whatever, but since you can get them in a lot of palettes, you got to do them right. And this one, in my opinion, it's okay, but it's very chalky and not great. So next from Pat is Lovelace. From Luster is Magnifique. So here they are swatched. The one from Luster is a bit deeper, however they are very similar. I do like the one from Pat just a little bit more. It's a bit more creamy. Just, it has like a little bit more glitter in the one from Pat, so you can kind of tell the difference in tone there. And yeah, so they're very similar, much more so than these two, but not exactly the same. And then Rose Dusk is the next one from Pat, and Opaque is the next one from Luster. Now those are pretty similar as well. The one from Luster is a bit deeper, but they look pretty similar actually. Let me see if I can hold my hand a certain way and you can kind of see the difference. This one's just a bit lighter. So now what we've all been waiting for, those special shades. Let's see, can the Luster palette compare to Pat's? So the very first one that I'm swatching from Pat is called Refined Gold 002. So pretty. And the one from Luster is called Spell. Okay, here they are swatched. Okay, can you see the specialness of this shade right here? Like, that's a one swipe swatch. It feels like it's like a baked gelée formula. Almost just, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. Now, tone, this one's more golden, this one's more yellow. But yeah, they're definitely different. They're similar, but they're different, definitely. Iridescent Pink is the next one I'm getting out of Pat's. This one I'm very curious about because it has a lot of different like reflex in it. And then Crystal from the Luster palette. So again, you can just, like, I know that one's hard to see. It's one of those shades. It just swatches, like Pat's just swatches better. One swipe swatch and you're done. Now, as far as shades go, it's pretty similar. This one looks a bit more pink to me, where this one looks a little bit more purple in reflect. In the pan, they look white, but they do have that like opal essence to them, and it's really beautiful. So they're similar. They're very similar. They're not the same, but they're similar. Another one I'm very eager to see is Rose Venue. I'm sorry, VR Rose Venue from Pat. And then Radiant from Luster. Okay. They're similar, but they're not the same. Like, they might look the same on camera, but they're different. Okay, so from Pat, I'm seeing like a pink with some orange shifts, and then some gold shifts from Pat. And then from Radiant, I just see like a orange with some gold in it. So definitely getting a lot more shifts out of Pat's. But I mean, they do look similar swatched. And the last shade in Pat's is Astral Solstice. I can't talk, but we will try. Okay, and the shade Sacred from Luster. Now those are very similar. You can see the one from Luster is a bit deeper in undertone. They look very similar swatched. The one from Pat's is a tad bit more, it's a lighter shade and a little bit more reflective, but obviously I think Pat's is a better quality. You get what you pay for, and I've found that out with makeup. Like, I'm not trying to tell you you need to spend $128 on a palette. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if you want to spend the $128, I feel like you get the quality. Also, you can be like me and just wait for a sale, but you know, you can get a very similar look from these, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So I went ahead and primed my eyes with my favorite primer. Like, this is the one I know best, so that's why I chose this one, Believe Beauty, Dollar General. I'm going to use similar brushes. They won't be the same brush, but they'll be similar. Maybe I'll just clean them in between and they will be the same brush. We'll see how that goes. So first, I'm going to start with Alter Ego on this side, Pat on this side. So on the Alter Ego side, I'm going to take the shade Mystic. And I'm going to take a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to put that in the crease. Then from Pat's, I'm going to take Valoria on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to put that in the crease. I have this little gnat that's flying around here and making me angry. So you can definitely tell the difference in tone on that one. I don't even think they look similar at all on the eye. I mean, like, of course the shades are similar, but I wouldn't call these dupe shades. I'm going to take Extreme Mahogany from my Pat palette and put that in this outer corner. Then on Luster, I'm going to take the Rare shade. One thing I've noticed in this Luster palette is these shades are getting hard pan so easy, and my brushes aren't wet. Well, let me rephrase that. The matte shades. Then I'm going to take the shade Sable Bronze from Pat, and that's going kind of just packing it over that deepest shade I laid down. And then Infinite from Luster, same thing over here. Okay, so I have a lot more depth over here just because the Pat palette is a little bit deeper. So yeah. So next I am taking Rose Venus from Pat, and that is going to kind of go on this middle portion. Do you see why those are special shades? That just goes on so easy, and that was with the brush. Okay, same with Radiant from Luster. It's gonna go in the center. And then from Pat's palette, I kind of want to take Astral Solstice on that inner portion. And Sacred from Luster on this side. Okay, so I'm cleaning up these edges. So how similar do they look? Not the greatest, huh? Yeah, well, they're similar, just not the same, right? I just went ahead and put on some liner while I was at it. Okay, so I'll finish the rest of my face real quick and I'll be back. Alright, so let's do the bottom lash line. For the bottom lash line, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Nothing too crazy. I'm just going to take a liner brush and I'm going to go into Sable Bronze. And I'm just going to buff that along that bottom lash line. And this is from Pat's palette, by the way. I clean the brush and I'm going to go into Infinite from the Luster palette. Do the same over here. And I think that's all I'm going to do for the bottom lash line. Alright, so one last thing that I almost forgot to do. I'm going to put just a little bit of highlight on brow bone and inner corner, and I'm going to use the Astral Solstice from Pat's. Oh, I wish you could see how that looks in person. It's so beautiful. Yeah, the camera's not doing that justice. And then from the Luster palette, I'm going to use Crystal. So now that it's all on and I have everything, can you tell the difference? Well, it looks most dramatic. It is different for sure, but they look very similar. So if you are not about to spend $128 on a Pat McGrath palette, I think that this Alter Ego palette is definitely worth checking out if you want to spend $22 on a palette. The formula is not bad. It's not the greatest in the world, but it's definitely not Pat's formula, but it's not bad. It's really not. For a dupe brand, I think that it's a pretty good formula. So there are a lot of things very similar. I don't think that it's a shade for shade exact anything of this one. Like Pat, she's just that girl. Like she just does it, you know. She stands on her own. Her and Natasha kind of have their own. Like I can't compare the two. They do their own thing. But if you want one, Alter Ego is worth checking out. Alter Ego also has some dupes of Natasha Denona palettes. If you want to check it out, they have one of the my favorite, the Glam palette from Natasha Denona. So if you want to check that one out while you're on their website, check it out. They have a lot of dupes of palettes, so definitely not a bad thing to check out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was something I enjoyed doing. I enjoyed putting on eyeshadow, which I've not done in forever, and it's just a good day to play in makeup. So I feel better now than when I sat down. That was the goal we accomplished. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you're staying safe, happy, and healthy. If you want to know what's on my face, check for another video that looks like this. I'll look basically the same, and it's gonna be coming very soon or already out. If it's already out, I'll be linking it down below, and you guys can see what all's on my face. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.